Director here at the Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living. Oh, thank you. Yay. Thank you. I missed you guys so much. I missed our sanctuary. I missed our beautiful spiritual home. And the developments are vast and varied and incredible. And maybe one day we'll all sit down and I'll catch up for 3 hours. All right. So let's stand and let's sing The Journey of Awakening. All right. Everybody sing praise, 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 praise for the journey of awakening. Everybody sing praise, 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 praise for the journey of awakening. I'm on a journey of awakening to the presence of God within me, expressing peace, joy, love, and harmony on this journey of awakening. Everybody sing praise, 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 praise for the journey of awakening. Everybody sing praise, 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 praise for the journey of awakening. I'm on a journey of awakening to the presence of God within me, expressing peace, joy, love, and harmony on this journey of awakening. Everybody sing praise, 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 praise for the journey of awakening. Everybody sing praise, 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 praise for the journey of awakening. Praise for the journey of awakening. Hey.
Good morning, all. My name is Donna Schaefer, and I am your trustee on duty today. On behalf of Reverend Donna Maurer and our Board of Trustees, I am privileged to welcome you to the Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living. Whoever you are, and wherever you are on your spiritual path, you are truly welcome here. Here, you will be validated, supported, and encouraged to be all that you were meant to be. Our vision statement is love in action every day in every way. We express this love by learning and living the principles of the science of mind. On the back of our program, you will find our Declaration of Principles. Please join me now in reading them. I believe there is an infinite intelligence operating throughout the universe. I believe this intelligent power is only good. I believe this intelligence expresses as me. I believe through my conscious use of this power, I create my life as happy, healthy, and complete, and so it is. I would like to thank all the people that made this Sunday celebration possible. And first of all, that it is you who are sitting in these chairs. If you weren't here, it wouldn't be the same. And thank you to the ones who make sure that everything is set up and in order for this gathering. Please direct your attention now to the announcements that are in your bulletin. And if you are watching us online, please visit cslaz.org for our announcements and events calendar. Also, please turn off your cell phone. Thank you.
The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you. And you and I are one. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you, and you and I are one. Namaste. Namaste.
Good morning. It's cool in here, so let's just pretend it's going to be a cool day. Yeah? Aloha. Find a big house with lots of bedrooms, please. Oh, good. So it says, introduce myself. Well, you know who I am. My name is Rosie, and I'm your practitioner for today. And it's always a privilege to be up here. Remember that this is the first Sunday of the month, so it is Miraculous Moments Sunday, which means, and I know that that both Louise and I will be available for 1-minute treatments. And I think that you will love it if you come over. And remember to put your prayer requests in the box, and know that even though we have people, one's in Cuenca, one is in Alaska, Homer, and one's at home recuperating. But they all get our requests, so we are unified in our treatments. And we're a powerful bunch, you know. I have an announcement. Reverend Donna has asked our wonderful Kay Ewells, who many of you don't know was a licensed practitioner at the New Dawn Center for Spiritual Living in Aurora, Colorado. And she said yes. So she'll be filling in while we only have 2 right now, so now we'll have 3 and the rotation will be a little more comfortable. Thank you, Kay. Now I'll light our candle, which represents that divine light that I feel from each one of you in this room. That's why when you walk into this empty sanctuary, it still feels like love in the walls. And it is, because Lynn and Don painted this whole sanctuary. So let's settle in. I know that there is one divine presence, a magnificent, loving power I call it God. It is known by many names, though it has remained unnameable throughout the ages. I know that we are all one, unique, miraculously created by the One, by Spirit. We choose wonder as our path and love as our practice. In this moment, I give thanks for the gift of wonder, for beauty that needs no reason, and for a heart that can still be surprised. I'm grateful for this unfolding mystery and for the wisdom to trust its unfolding. And so it is. Our theme today is wonder. I know that we all have had moments of wonder, because we're all spiritual beings. We're all in touch. And I'd like to share, I'm lucky to be standing up here because I get to share one of my moments of wonder with you. I was standing in my backyard near a bush. I don't know the reason. I can't remember why I was there. But this bush was filled with tiny, tiny pink and red blossoms. And it attracted butterflies and bumblebees. And there was a hummingbird there that time. And that little hummingbird somehow got in touch with the fact that I was there. And he zipped over. I know it was a boy for some reason. He zipped over and hovered right in front of my face. And I know some of you have had that experience, but this was mine. And I was just frozen. And there he was, and he looked right into my eyes. Makes me tear up. And then he was gone. He was zipped over to the fountain, took a nice big long drink, and he was gone. And I just stood there paralyzed in wonder. It was lovely. So here are a couple of stories that I hope you enjoy. One is about wonder, and one is about change. The first one is called The Bell in the Forest. A traveler came upon a forest where it was said a golden bell hung from a tree, but could only be heard by those who truly listened. Many came, no one heard it. A traveler sat beneath the tree, not seeking, not waiting, simply listening to the wind, to the insects, the breath in her body. At dusk, a small, soft chime rang through the branches, clear and eternal. She didn't look up. She smiled and then whispered, "Ah, there you are." From that day on, wherever she walked, the bird song sounded brighter. The rain felt like music. For she had become someone who listens. And the second one. Once in a quiet forest lived a fox named Katu. Katu was known for his cleverness and quick adaptability. But although Katu had many strengths, he feared one thing more than anything else: the change of seasons, especially the transition from the blooming freshness of summer to the barren autumn frightened Katu. He could not bear the thought of the vibrant green leaves turning orange and brown and finally falling to cover the ground with a blanket of leaves. One day, Katu decided to resist the change. Katu painted the leaves. When the leaves began to turn, Katu painted the leaves green with paint that ran out, and he could not stop the autumn. But despite his efforts, the foliage continued to change, and eventually all the leaves fell until the trees were bare. Desperate and dejected, Katu sat under the bare trees and looked at the dry leaves. Suddenly, he saw something unusual. Under the fallen leaves, a small shoot appeared. It was a young oak tree making its way through the dry leaves into the light. Katu watched the little shoot thrive and grow despite the barren and inhospitable environment. He realized that although autumn meant the end of summer, it also signaled the beginning of a new life. Katu understood that change does not always mean something negative, but is often a necessary phase for growth and renewal. From that day on, Katu no longer feared change. He welcomed autumn and any other change with open arms, knowing that they were only a part of the endless cycle of life. And in that acceptance, he found peace. For those of us who are struggling with the idea of change, I hope this little story is helpful to you. And now I'll take our candle and hold a high watch for us all.
This is a song that came about by what has become one of my favorite books of all time after Reverend Donna read from the book. I think it was in 2020. It was in 2020. Clarissa Pinkola Este's Women Who Run with the Wolves. Oh, fabulous. And I mean, you want to talk about an exploration of the sacred feminine, my goodness. This song was about, I believe, the final chapter of the book, The Wolf's Eyelash. I do it so much faster than on the CD now. Okay. Where are these souls maiden? Where are these souls? Through the eyelash of the wolf. you. Namaste.
Can you believe it's August? And it's hot. These are called the dog days of summer till about the middle of August. And I always thought that it meant that it was too hot, even for dogs. That's dog days, so they were asleep somewhere. They're not active. But actually, it doesn't have anything to do with barking dogs at all. It comes from the ancient belief that the star Sirius, which is known as the dog star and part of the constellation of Canis Major, added its heat to the suns during this time, causing the hottest days of the year. Well, it may be a cultural and historical belief. It's actually not scientifically accurate. But I thought that's an interesting, what did you know what dog days were? I didn't. So anyway, as Rosie, I think, has said, that our new theme for August is embracing the journey. And I think I talk about this a lot, maybe too much, but maybe it's the only thing we have to talk about. And that's really how we adjust ourselves to walk within two worlds. Our final truth is that we are spiritual beings. We are God in expression. And we're surrounded, as Rosie said, by beauty, wondrous sights, amazing miracles. But we have to be open and willing to take the time to see and appreciate them. I love her story about the hummingbird. I have one about a manatee baby that we hooked eyes when I was standing on a bridge in Vero Beach. And that little thing looked into my soul, so I know exactly the experience that Rosie had. And it is the wonder and the gifts that are always being delivered by Spirit. And the more we notice them and appreciate them, the more they show up. So the more we can notice them and appreciate them. And it goes on and on and on like that. So what I hope we've come to learn is that all aspects of our life are spiritual, because Spirit is omnipresent. There isn't an area of our life that is spiritual and another that is not. For the spiritual is wrapped up and encompassed in the material. And our material world, our material life, flows from Spirit. And what's important in this concept is that we live all aspects of our life from our own God center. If we are to live fully, if we are to see the miracles all around us, then we need to see that our entire life is Spirit expressing as us. Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, tells us you belong to the universe in which you live. You are one with the creative genius back of this vast array of ceaseless motion, this original flow of life. You are as much a part of it as the sun, the earth, and the air. There is something in you telling you this, like a voice echoing from some mountaintop of inward vision, like a light whose origin no man has seen, like an impulse welling up from an invisible source. So how often do we pause to look at the world? That's your assignment this week. Pause to find a moment of wonder in your life. I think we need that, because we tend to take these little miracles for granted, Yet we're surrounded by some of the most beautiful landscapes in the world. We were talking last week, and Don said that the Sonoran Desert is the most lush desert in the world. Is that true? So we live right here, and you can see from how our ranch is greened up, and then pretty soon it will flower up, and it's just an amazing transformation. And we need to just step back, enjoy it, and be filled with wonder. Yeah, I love to drive to Madera Canyon, and we don't even get out of the car. We just drive up slowly and drive back slowly. And we look for deer and wild turkey and colorful birds. And it's a mini vacation that totally clears my head, and I love when we do that. We haven't done it for a while, so we owe ourselves a trip. Y'all know that I've been married more than once. Twice, 3 times. Well, my first husband was very goal-oriented. And we went anywhere, he would plan a precise route, and then he would put his head down and drive and not look up until we were at our destination. You know, once when we went on vacation, I remember I kept pointing out little roads that looked interesting and signs that said things like Ostrich Farm or Painted Desert, next left. You know? But his response was, it's not in the plans. And he would keep driving, and he was so happy when we reached our destination on time or even a little before. And my second husband was much more laid back. When I pointed out new things to him, he would swing around and our adventure would begin. We never got anywhere on time. But the trips with him were so much more fun. I still have memories of following a little path, ending in the midst of a field of wildflowers at the edge of a stream, and a huge elk. You know, it was just something like out of Hartford, you know. And I remember when we decided to follow a vision that I had to be on the, a voice kept telling me, be on the desert floor at midnight. And so we were. And we experienced the most incredible meteor shower I have ever seen. So I think that we lose our sense of wonder when we set our sights on goals and forget that the path is what is important. The ancient Greeks measured time in 2 different ways and used 2 different words. They used chronos and kairos. Chronos time is clock time, calendars, schedules, seconds, minutes, hours, deadlines, due dates, schedules, and routines. Kairos time refers to those moments when the typical passage of time is suspended, allowing for a deep, present, focused experience, where Chronos would ask, how long did that take? Kairos would ask, did you have a good time? So what Chronos measures in hours, Kairos measures in impact. I remember seeing a poster on a wall that said, life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. Kairos time cherishes experiences that inspire wonder, awe, and deep connection, rather than simply counting the hours. So if you and I are to maintain our sense of wonder, we must balance both Kairos and Chronos. Glenn Clark, in his book, God's Reach, says when one views life from the higher dimension, he discovers that there is only one being in all the universe, and that one is God. There is only one emotion, and that is love. There is only one time, and that is the eternal now. There is only one space, and that is the infinite here. And I believe that this is what the mystics of all ages and throughout all religions and cultures have felt and understood and lived. I believe this is the journey we are each taking to uncover, embrace, and live that oneness. And Glenn Clark, in his book, he likens our journey through life to a trip on a train. And suppose we are on a train carrying us to distant parts. Everything is arranged according to law and order. Beautiful meals are planned. The scenery is gorgeous. We are given the best accommodations for our rest and relaxation. And the destination is more wonderful than anything we can imagine. But suppose we begin to distrust the planners of this trip. Suppose we begin to think they don't know what they're doing. The engineer doesn't really know where he's going. The train itself isn't stable. And the other passengers are untrustworthy. So we begin to fret, to worry, to become fearful, and finally, we have worked ourselves up so much that we can't enjoy the meals. We pull the shade on the lovely views, we toss it, turn at night, and we don't associate with other passengers. Through our own distrust, we miss the breathtaking scenery, people who love and nourish us, food and comfort and rest that has been prepared for us, and landscapes that are beautiful beyond measure. The journey is still the same. Nothing has changed about it, except our perception of it. Glenn Clark says there is one being, that one is God. To know that there is one creative genius, one divine power and presence that is the stuff from which we are made. And to walk in that knowledge is to trust the universe, all of its aspects, all of its gifts. So that's like trusting the master planners of our trip, knowing that there is something greater than I am, of which I am a part, that seeks my highest and best good always. And to remember that I am the one who can choose to enjoy the scenery or pull the shades. Glenn Clark says there's only one emotion, and that is love. It's one of those lovely accommodations on the train, and we can choose to see it or not. When we are expressing love, we find that there is no reason or room for fear, resentment, or worry, and we enjoy our trip to the fullest. The Course in Miracles states, nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. Marianne Williamson, in A Return to Love, puts it this way: love is real. It's an eternal creation, and nothing can destroy it. Anything that isn't love is an illusion. Remember this, and you will be at peace. Dr. Holmes says, love is the principle of life, for it is the nature of everything to give. Only the one who loves so much that there is no longer any room for hate will ever arrive at the place where, if there may be hate, he will never know it. We are afraid of greatness because we are so tied down to littleness. We clutch the littleness anxiously and jealously, but so precariously to our hearts. It is essential to see beyond the littleness to something bigger. None of us is as perfect in expression as we ought to be. So the challenge to each of us is to be great enough to rise in love, in charity, through understanding and compassion. Love is the lodestone of life. So when you and I can see that love is Spirit's highest expression, and we are expressions of that love, then we are open and receptive to all the gifts of wonder, awe, and joy that have been freely given. Glenn Clark says there's only one time, and that is the eternal now, and we call this living in the moment. And living in the moment doesn't mean that we don't make plans or set goals. It would be pretty hard to live in this world without them. If we spent all of our money today in the moment and didn't make plans for tomorrow, we could be in trouble. And we'd be silly to begin a trip without having planned some kind of an itinerary and destination. Taking beneficial knowledge from the past into the present moment is wise. Peppering our present moment with past regrets or resentments is not. Creating a spiritual vision and intentions upon which we make future plans and goals is wise. Worrying about what will happen in the future is not. Ernest Holmes says there will never be more of God, abundance, health, or happiness than is available to us today. And the only time we can experience what we may desire is today. We can't do it yesterday, and tomorrow hasn't arrived. We have to encompass right now in our thought all the good we can ever hope to experience. For out of that thought comes the joy of life and the pattern for our experience tomorrow. So there is joy in this present moment. There is wonder. There is awe. And if we take this joy and allow it to flow through our very being, we are automatically creating a future for ourselves and for the world where there will be more joy in the present moment when we get to that present moment. Glenn Clark's fourth one is there is only one space, and that is infinite here. The infinite here is much like the eternal now, as it's another expression of the present moment. But how many times have you and I been stuck in traffic and frustrated and wanting to be somewhere that we weren't? How many times has the line at the store or the bank been long and we get pissed off about it, you know? Staying in the infinite here is being content with where we are. The lines at the store or at the bank can be an opportunity to meditate or to meet the person next to us. It can be a most pleasant experience or not, and that's our choice. Sufi poet Hafiz wrote, "God and I are like two fat men in a small boat. We keep bumping into each other and laughing." And I love that, because isn't it true for us about the time that we are feeling frustrated, angry, ready to shoot somebody, something happens. A hummingbird flies into our face. You know, there's some moment that catches us and we start to laugh. And we realize that this is the beauty of the moment. This is the truth of who and what we are. And those frustrated times just sort of fall away. Ernest Holmes says we are not all that God is, of course, but everything that we are is made out of God, because there is nothing else it can be made of. The universe holds us forever in its warm and close embrace. When you and I turn to that divinity within us, we shall feel something and we shall know something that every endeavor of the ages has sought after: the living God. Here and here alone is security. Here and here alone is peace. It is in the wind and the wave, the song of the child, the crooning of the mother, the beauty of the sunset, and the golden glory of dawn's rise over the mountaintops into the newness of another day. It is not just in religious adoration, but in the stillness of our own heart that God speaks. When we view our life from a spiritual perspective, we see above and beyond appearances to the truth. There is one God, one power, and one presence from which we are all sourced. There is only love, and where we express that love, we are abundantly supported by Spirit in its expression through us. There is only the eternal now, and peace is expressed when we let go of past regrets and future worries. There is only the infinite here, and when we are in tune with life, the infinite here is automatically filled with wonder, awe, and joy. And as passengers on this train, we can choose to open the curtains, embrace that journey, and enjoy the ride. Thank you. Namaste.
In beauty, may I walk all day long. May I walk through the sea. May I walk in peace. Stand up on this path. May I walk through my life. May I walk in old age. May I walk. May I walk in peace. May I walk in peace. Here we go. May I walk. 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 May I walk in peace. May I walk in peace. In joy, may I walk. May I walk in love. May I walk. May I walk. Gratitude, may I walk. May I walk. May I walk in peace. May I walk. May I walk in peace. May I walk. Whoops, sorry. Forgiveness, may I walk. Forgive me.
In loving kindness, may I
walk. There we go. May I walk in peace. May I walk in peace. May I walk. 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 May I walk in peace. May I walk in peace. Oh yeah. May I walk in peace. May I walk in peace. May you walk in peace. May you joy in peace. May I walk. Yeah. Awesome. Nice job out there, everybody who was using the noisemakers they own.
Thank you. I hope as many of you as possible can plan to stay after, because all of this gibberish is going to turn into something miraculous. Believe me, it does it. I don't know how it works, but it does every single time. So I'm trusting Spirit that it'll do it again, and we will create our spiritual vision and intentions that we are going to step in as us to bring our new chapter into focus. So this is the last part of it. So it's time for our offering, and I ask that you join me in our offering affirmation. My gift goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless all that it touches. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I share generously of my good, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is.
so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much.
Oh, so nice to hear all your voices again singing with me. Thank you. Just so nice to hear everyone's voices again.
You were gone too long, girl. Yeah, so let's take a moment to close this portion out in prayer, and then grab a snack and come back as quickly as possible so we can start on this on putting this together. So I know that there is one divine intelligence, one presence, one power that flows through and animates everything, all creation, and that we are a part of that. And coming from that space, we speak our word with authority and with love. And I do speak my word right now for anyone experiencing any kind of a challenge, to know that the power and presence is in the midst of that and is doing its healing work. Do speak a special word for John Lopez, that we see him back here, healed and whole. And I just give thanks for the opportunity to be a part of this incredible spiritual family. I do know that as a community, we are truly blessed beyond measure. And the love that we share goes out into the world like a true beacon of light. So I release these words into divine mind, into the law, and allow it to do its perfect work as we say together, and so it is.